Oh, honey, buckle up because Rachel Zegler's fairy tale, it's unraveling faster than a dollar store wig on a windy day. The entertainment industry has always loved a Cinderella story, but lately, it's acting like it can't wait to send this princess back to the pumpkin patch.
You don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Let me tell you something. The message of the movie is to be that bitch. That's the message that they wrote a script that's telling girls, I don't need nobody tells me I'm a 20-year-old girl, so obviously I should run my mouth all the time.
Her team is scrambling, like full-blown panic mode, trying to pin the blame on social media for her flop of a London stage debut in Evita. But let's be honest for a sec, that's not the tea. This isn't just some TikTok drama or a few trolls in Twitter threads. What's really happening at the London Palladium, it's way deeper and way more tragic. Because it's not hate she's facing anymore, it's something scarier. Indifference. When you peek at those seating charts, girl, there are fields of green. Not the good green that means money, the depressing, lonely, no one's buying tickets green. The Palladium holds 2,200 seats. Tickets are dirt cheap, starting at just £29 0 pence, and it's still crickets, weeks before opening night. If theater lovers aren't showing up even at those prices, that's not an online smear campaign. That's a full-blown reality check. And let's not pretend theatergoers are hard to please. They're some of the most forgiving, enthusiastic fans on the planet. If they're staying away in droves, oh honey, that says everything. The way Hollywood paints Zegler, Golden Globe winner, Disney princess, Hunger Games girl boss, but none of that is converting into real-life interest. She's got all the glossy headlines and absolutely zero buzz in the streets. Let's rewind. This all started when Steven Spielberg plucked Rachel out of obscurity for West Side Story. Instant fame, red carpets, a literal Hollywood dream. But even with that big name backing, the movie flopped. Like, hard. And instead of that being a wake-up call, the industry handed her Snow White. An iconic role with almost a century of love behind it. And what did she do with it? Yikes. She trashed the original film, literally called it weird, laughed about the prince being a stalker, mocked the fairy tale romance, and then had the audacity to say this new version was not made for the fans who adored the classic. Girl, what? That's like walking into someone's home and telling them their grandma's recipes are garbage. So naturally, the audience clapped back with their wallets. As in, they stopped spending. Snow White tanked so badly that it got delayed. And Zegler, she started gaining a rep, not for talent, not for charm, but for being arrogant and dismissive toward the very legacies giving her a career. And now we're on to Act 3 of this very messy play, Evita. Her supposed reset, a new stage, a new audience, a new chance to shine. But guess what? Same story. Flop era continues. The ticket sales, DOA. Industry buzz, crickets. Support from the cast, non-existent. Like, where are the cute behind-the-scenes selfies? The cheerful break-a-leg posts? The glowing cast interviews? They're nowhere. Because no one is going out of their way to hype this show, or her. Even the press, which used to drool over her, has switched gears. Now she's being described as controversial, polarizing, not rising star or Hollywood's future. And let's be crystal clear, this isn't cancel culture. This is worse. This is people not caring anymore. No outrage, no drama, just apathy. And in showbiz, that's fatal. Which is why you're seeing fewer and fewer people standing behind Zegler right now. Not in dramatic, we're done announcements, but in quiet, careful distance. Co-stars who don't tag her. Directors suddenly unavailable. Media outlets using softer language like ongoing PR struggles instead of fan favorite. Oh, they know the game, and this silence is deafening. What's even more shocking is how fast this fall from grace happened. Just a couple years ago, Rachel was being handed the keys to the kingdom. People called her the future of Hollywood. Studios wanted her, franchisers wanted her, everyone wanted her. Now, it's crickets. Or worse, coded Hollywood whispers, creative differences, project delay, scheduling issues. All that polite industry speak for, we're out. And here's the real kicker. The average London theater goer doesn't care about all this drama. They just want a good show. But when the lead performer is all over the internet slamming fairy tales and acting superior to the audience, it does start to matter. Because why would you spend your money on someone who seems like she doesn't even like the story she's telling? And the lack of energy from her castmates on Evita, that's not accidental. In a normal production, especially one that's struggling, you'd see the cast going hard, posting behind the scenes videos, hyping each other up, doing interviews, building momentum. Here, nothing. Nada. Zilch. It's like Evita doesn't even exist on their feeds. And that, my friends, is not a coincidence, it's a strategy. Hollywood, Broadway, West End, it's all about optics. And right now, the optics around Rachel Zegler are screaming, danger, stay away. And the real tragedy? It was all so avoidable. She could have honored Snow White's legacy, she could have updated it with class, she could have celebrated the original while pushing forward. But she didn't. She chose to be snarky instead of smart. She treated her own fans like they were stuck in the past, and then acted shocked when they moved on without her. And even now, with ticket sales in the toilet and critics circling like hawks, there's still no real change in her attitude. No heartfelt message, no humility, just vague tweets and filtered selfies. Meanwhile, a new generation of rising stars is watching this crash and burn and taking notes. They know better. They know to respect the work, respect the fans, respect the industry, because that's what keeps the lights on. Rachel's team, they're still clinging to the narrative that online bullying is the villain here. But let's be real, TikTok didn't empty the theater, Twitter didn't mute the media, Instagram didn't freeze out her co-stars. This wasn't sabotage, this was self-inflicted. So now we're in the part of the saga where things should be getting better. You think this is where her team might finally pull the brakes, regroup, and come up with a redemption arc, right? Wrong. Instead, they're doubling down. Instead of accountability, they're pumping out damage control, hoping the public will magically forget everything. They're desperately spinning, begging journalists to reframe the narrative. But girl, how do you reframe an entire theater of empty seats? You can't slap a cute filter on that. Rachel's people are whispering to every outlet that she's misunderstood, unfairly targeted, even victimized. And while that might have worked when West Side Story was still fresh and people were curious, now audiences are over it. They've heard this song before, and they're not clapping. Because let's face it, this isn't a one-time mistake. This is a pattern. From the Spielberg flop, to the Disney disaster, to the West End ghost town, Rachel Zegler has somehow managed to turn golden opportunities into absolute chaos, repeatedly. And let's not ignore the damage she's done in the process. This isn't just about her anymore. That's the biggest L in Rachel Zegler's game right now. She's not just alienating critics, she's alienating core fans, the very people who show up on day one, the ones who buy merch, who write fan blogs, who fill those green seats with warm bodies. Those people, they feel burned, and when fans feel burned, they don't come back. And now that Evita is struggling, the reality is impossible to deny. The excuses, they don't work anymore. You can't say it's early when the show's days away and whole rows are empty. You can't say people are being harsh online when the theater itself is a ghost town. You can't Photoshop your way out of apathy. And make no mistake, this isn't just a personal branding issue, it's a professional one. Because in Hollywood, likability is currency. It keeps you working even when you flop. But if you burn through that goodwill, even the best agents can't save you. And the saddest part, Rachel's not a villain, she's just playing the game all wrong. This industry runs on relationships. And right now, she's playing solo. There's no army behind her anymore. No Disney PR machine boosting her image. No co-stars lifting her up. No ensemble cast tweeting their love. She's alone in this storm. And what's her response? To act like the storm doesn't exist. No apology tours, no realignments, no humble pie, just more vague posts, more side eye at critics, more excuses. Meanwhile, Hollywood is watching closely. And trust, it knows how to cut someone loose without saying a word. You'll notice it in the recasting announcements, the creative redirection, the scheduling changes. These are the quiet ways careers fade. No shouting, no shade, just silence. So what now? Will Rachel Zegler pull off the comeback of the decade? It's not impossible. Hollywood lives for redemption arcs. We've seen stars fall from grace and rise again stronger, but it always starts the same way, with ownership. And that's the one thing we haven't seen from her. Not once. You can't get a second chance if you pretend the first one was perfect. You can't ask for grace if you never admit to the missteps. And you definitely can't fix your image if your entire team is out here pointing fingers like it's a whodunit. Because at this point, the mystery's been solved. The clues are all over social media, in the box office receipts, and splashed across every entertainment headline. And spoiler alert, it's not the internet's fault. So here we are, the climax of the Rachel Zegler saga, at least for now. London's prestigious Palladium, a theater known for sold-out legends, is staring down opening night with rows and rows of empty velvet chairs. People who once called Rachel a generational talent are nowhere to be found. The same journalists who once tripped over themselves to call her the next big thing are now using terms like ongoing backlash and reputation issues. Let that sink in. It's not hate anymore, it's fatigue, exhaustion, a collective shrug, and in the entertainment world, that shrug is deadlier than any scandal. It means people aren't fighting to cancel you, they just don't care. You're not trending because of controversy, you're not trending at all. The buzz is gone. The hype? Deflated. The crowd moved on. This is the part where most stars either have their wake-up call or their final curtain call. Because let's be real, the pattern is screaming for attention. First, it was West Side Story, then Snow White, now Evita, 3 major platforms, 3 opportunities to win the public over, and instead, 3 strikes. All weighed down by the same thing, Rachel's attitude. And what's worse, there were so many chances to flip the script. She could have taken Snow White and become a feminist icon without dissing the original. She could have used her Disney platform to elevate a new vision while honoring the legacy. She could have entered Evita humbly as a newcomer to the stage world, ready to learn and grow and win the audience back. Instead, she acted like she was rewriting the rulebook, when in reality, she wasn't even reading the room. And now, that room is empty. The PR strategy of blaming online haters has reached its expiration date. Because while Twitter may be petty, TikTok didn't cancel those ticket sales. The real problem is staring back at them from those green seating charts. It's in the lack of press interest. It's in the total radio silence from Evita co-stars who, by now, should be shouting from the rooftops if the production had even an ounce of momentum. But they're not. And that silence, it's strategic. Nobody wants their name tied to a sinking ship. Producers, they're watching closely. Investors, getting cold feet. Journalists, already hedging. Fans, they're just done. And the industry, it doesn't wait around. There's already a new wave of talent ready to take Rachel's place. Young stars with grace, charm, and the ability to balance confidence with humility. They're learning from her mistakes without even having to experience them firsthand. Because Rachel, she's become a cautionary tale, the girl who had it all and lost it without even realizing it. But here's the final twist. It's not too late. Yes, the buzz is dead, the seats are empty, the internet is unimpressed. But in Hollywood, everyone loves a redemption arc. The question is, does Rachel Zegler even want one? Because for that to happen, she'd need to finally take a hard look in the mirror, not post another aesthetic selfie, not tweet another cryptic quote, but take real responsibility, own her part in all of this. She'd have to drop the defensiveness, apologize sincerely, not for being misunderstood, not for ruffling feathers, but for disrespecting the fans, the legacy of the roles she's been given, and the people who worked tirelessly beside her on productions that were supposed to be magical. She'd have to stop pretending like social media trolls are the only ones causing the storm when, in truth, she's been holding the umbrella upside down this whole time. Until then, no one's buying what she or her team is selling. Not the story, not the narrative, not the tickets. Because here's the raw truth. You can't build a career on entitlement and expect loyalty in return. You can't insult a generation's childhood movie and expect them to show up and clap. You can't treat the stage like a stepping stone while the theater community is bleeding heart and soul into a performance. People notice, people talk, and then, people stop showing up. That's where we are now. And unless something changes drastically, this might just be the final act. So, Rachel, if you're listening, Hollywood is still a land of second chances, but they don't give those out to the ones who keep pointing fingers while the stage lights dim. They give them to the ones who say, yeah, I messed up, let me earn it back. Until that happens, Evita won't be your comeback. It'll be the encore to a fall that no one expected, but now no one can ignore.